Flagler College Auditorium, genauso wie auch dann vor unserem Flagler College Gymnasium, was zu unserer linken Seite ist. Das ist dieses Gebäude hier. Das Auditorium zeigen wir euch später. Wir wollen euch jetzt erstmal das Gymnasium zeigen, wo die ganzen Basketballspiele stattfinden. Wie ihr hier seht, haben wir das Flagler Basketball Game tonight. Die Männer trainieren dort, die Frauen trainieren dort und auch unsere Volleyball-Ladies trainieren dort. Volleyball-Männer haben wir leider nicht. Aber jetzt kommt erstmal mit rein, wir zeigen euch erstmal, wie es ist. Kommt mal mit. Hier ist auch gleichzeitig das Department of Intercollegiate Athletics, wo man auch unser Director of Compliance findet, die sich quasi mit den neuen Regeln in der NCAA Division 2 auskennt. Seit einiger Zeit sind wir nämlich nicht mehr in der NAIA, sondern wir sind jetzt in die NCAA 2, in die Division 2 umgesiedelt, was einige Vorteile hat, aber auch einige Pflichten mit sich bringt. Hier gerade ist ein kleines Shootout der Basketball Ladies. Die haben nämlich heute Abend ein Spiel, aber das werden wir euch später dann auch nochmal zeigen. Also kommt mal mit. Das ist unser Gymnasium hier. Und ganz oben seht ihr das Gym, da wo man Workout machen kann, wo man sowohl Cardio-Training als auch Gewichte liften kann. Jo. Ich weiß nicht, ob wir ihn jetzt stören. Das werden wir jetzt sehen. Wir klopfen einfach mal an der Tür, vielleicht ist er da. Hi Coach.
Hey Mark.
Hey.
How are you?
Do you have a second for us? We just have a couple of questions.
No problem.
This is my coach, John Lynch. He's my soccer coach as well as an instructor at Flagler. Coach, how long have you been here at Flagler at St. Augustine?
Done 8 soccer seasons in my 8th year.
In your 8th year, and you're an instructor at Flagler as well?
Yep, I teach in the communication department. I teach speech communication.
Okay. I'm here since last fall, and first question for me, hey, how was the last season?
Last season was good. It threatened to be great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think injuries caught the better of us at the end of the season, but we had some really good wins, and we had some really bad losses. But overall, a more positive season than that.
Okay, so you were satisfied with the season? Could you say that, could you?
Yeah, there was a couple of games I'd like to have back, but
Okay.
overall we had more good times than bad.
What are the goals for the future? I talked to the people already and told them that we moved from the NAIA to the NCAA. What are the goals? What do you want to achieve in the future with your program?
Well, one of the most important things for us is to get into a conference, successfully complete this transition period, get into Division 2, get into a conference. And I think once we do that, whichever conference it ends up being, I think we'll be very successful right away. It's hard to be in limbo. When you're in limbo in terms of motivation and truly setting goals, in terms of winning a conference title, trying to get to the NCAA tournament, it's hard to set those goals until you get there. But ultimately, want to be in a conference, want to get this transition period over with, and to be in an area where we're competing for a championship. And I think we can do that pretty quickly.
Since we talk about NCAA or moving from NAIA to NCAA, how glad are you that you moved over from NAIA, or are you glad about it?
That's a good question. I'm happy about some things, I'm sad about others. I've been in the NAIA a long time. I played in the NAIA, 15 years ago, 18 years ago, whatever it was that I came over. So I really enjoy the NAIA. I think there's some great things about the NAIA, but I think there are some bad things about the NAIA. Some of the good things are just in terms of, I think their tournament is better than the NCAA tournament, just the way it's organised. I think there's a lot of parity when it gets to tournament time. You get two games in the tournament. So there's some good things there, and the bad things, there's some rules, some schools have used the rules more than others. But in the NCAA, I think it's the same. You find out, I think there's some good, some bad. It's really nice to be affiliated with the NCAA because everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows what the NAIA is, but everybody knows what NCAA athletics is, and that's a good thing.
Okay. We try to give people from Germany a quick overview about Flagler, about St. Augustine, as well as the soccer program. From your point of view, what would you say? What are good points. What are the advantages of like a soccer program? Why would you say people from Germany should come over and play soccer here? And
Well,
what are the requirements as well? So
the requirements, well, you have to fulfill the NCAA clearinghouse requirements, which means that you have to take the what's called the SAT exam. You have to apply to the NCAA clearinghouse, and there's two types of clearinghouse. There's a academic clearinghouse and there's a professionalism clearinghouse, so you have to pass both. So basically, if you have a gap in your education, if you've been out of school for a year and playing soccer, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So you need to continue your education and go straight from either secondary school to American college or straight to a German college and then to an American college. But the advantages of Flagler College, one, it's on the East Coast.
yeah,
So it's a much shorter flight onto the West Coast.
that's right. Yeah.
We're located in Florida, and I think any time a European thinks of America, I think you're going to think of Florida, New York, and California.
That's what we do.
So we're one of the three that you think of. We're
Yeah.
northern Florida, so we're not as hot as South Florida. So we have a little bit more climate changes. It does get kind of cold in the winter time, not as cold as Germany, but cold. I think that's an advantage. We're located close to the beach, so as a location, I think the school is good. In terms of the program, I like to think we do a good job. There's plenty of room for improvement, as every program has. But I think part of this move to the NCAA is allowing us to become a little bit more professional in how we do things, in how we dress, and how we travel, and even in terms of the schools that we're going to go play.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'm a good example that it's not impossible to play here. How many international players did we have last fall, and do we expect any new international coming in for the next one? Because you need to know the main season is in fall. The main games, the important games are in fall, and we're gonna use. Or better, you can explain that better. What is the spring season for?
Unlike Europe, America's college soccer season occurs from mid-August till mid-November. So it's a very condensed season. So you come in and basically you've only 2 weeks pre-season, and then you go straight into games. And you play 20 games in that 2 months really.
Oh, yeah.
So it's sometimes 3 games a week and sometimes 4. It's tough. But then you kind of have a down period, and you get Christmas break a month. College is out for a month, and where you could return home for a full month. And then you come back with the spring season, where we can only play 5 dates in the spring. We can only train for 45 days, so we have to do a lot of conditioning, waiting for those 45 days to come around. So some good, some bad in there, but the idea behind it is that people have time to be a student, and they have time to be a college student, maybe take a road trip, and not necessarily be a professional athlete.
Okay. And how do you remember how many athletes did we have?
Then back to the internationals, we think we had 9 internationals on the roster. We've nearly always had 7, 8 or 9, sometimes 10 internationals, mostly from Ireland, England, Iceland, Sweden, and now we're starting to dabble with Germany, Spain. We had an Italian, so we're starting to broaden our horizons a little bit.
And overall, would you say you're satisfied with the performance of the players, or is there?
Yeah, as always, there's some players who excel, but I think we have a really good bunch of players right now. I'm very pleased with the heart that we have in the team. I think we've got good leadership. I think we have a nice balance. We have some players that need to improve, without question. We have some players that need to improve, but I think overall, I think we've got a pretty exciting team at the moment.
Okay. As you probably hear, coach is from Ireland, so from Europe as well. So he knows about both systems, both the American side and the German side. I would say thank you for the quick interview, and yeah, probably we're going to see him back on the field in the next weeks, where we will have a little shot as well. Thanks a lot, coach.
No problem. Thanks.